Morning, my tribe of peeps. Wanted to reach out to Ari of Corrupt Gaming HD, baby. What's up? He had a great question on other things you can do in the field of the trades. So that kind of comes down to, in my opinion, there's three different ways and three different paths that you can take. We'll start if you're in commercial and you're working your way up in that field. Let's say it's pretty much management. So the number one thing is management in the commercial side. Now, what does that look like? Usually it starts off with being a foreman or a lead, and then you work your way up to general foreman, superintendent, and so on and so forth. So some people do pivot laterally and go into project engineering or project management. So in terms of in the commercial realm, that's the routes that I've seen people take, and it kind of leads into um, others might go into estimating at some point in their management work. A lot of the times, people work their way into management because they're getting older in the trade and their body just can't take as much of a beating, which is understandable. So they'll work their way into their knowledge base, getting off the tools and into running work. The second route I've seen people take is going to be in the project engineering, project management, also detailing. Um, that's where you start working in what we do a lot is BIM 360, Revit, Trimble. So you're working with basically modeling new work. And that is work that doesn't really tickle my fancy. And I don't want to be on a computer. I don't want to be at a desk. I don't want to work remotely. I got in the trades because I love the tools. I love the work, which is totally fine. So that is another route that I've seen people do. Some people will take AutoCAD classes. We do take classes in our union apprenticeship program, but that doesn't certify you, and it's definitely something you have to probably get. I think there's courses that give you that certification. Welcome my pups too, so if I get lost in translation, come on, babies. So detailing, if you do like computers, if you are into, I mean, it is kind of architectural. It is more software based. And if you have that mind, I think that that is a route that you can take. There is, I think, two people in my class that actually transitioned from the field into more of a project engineer, detailing um, career. So it is possible to go that route. And then the third route, in my opinion, is going to be in the union itself, or if you're in service, that's another route. But that route doesn't really have management. It doesn't have foreman experience. It doesn't have walking through some dirt here. It doesn't have that management experience on the service side. But what I'm talking about is actual union work itself. So within the union, in the United Association, I have noticed that people can go into being a coordinator for the JATC. You can also take a route into more politics. You can become a business manager. You can also become an organizer. You could become a teacher within the teachers, working for the international training program. Um, and within that, that's like a whole. So our Mark McManus currently is the UA president, and he was a former plumber. What local I don't recall, but there is another political route that you can take within the union itself, and I'm sure there's plenty of positions that I'm forgetting. You could become a financial business agent, and that's a whole nother, like, I don't know, I don't have experience in that, so I'm not going to speak on it, but I know that those three main routes, if you kind of include service in there, is four different routes that you can actually take within this trade. And so some people might not want to keep the tools on. Some people might want to make a pivot just because of their life status. Estimating, in my opinion, would probably be something I want to do just because it does take your field experience and then kind of juxtaposes that into being able to estimate and bid jobs. Which, that, you can make good money. You can also lose a lot of money if you bid it wrong. So there is that side of the world. Thanks, Ari, for that question. I think that if you do consider the trades, don't consider your options just on the tools, and whatever's within that realm is possible. And if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. And thanks again. Stay tuned, tribe, and thanks for being a part of the crew.